Good morning, everyone. Christ scolds the scribes and Pharisees for their hypocrisy. And maybe we're wondering if we fall into this camp of hypocrites. I mean, after all, we call ourselves Christian, we claim to know Christ, and yet we fall so far short of sainthood, of holiness on a daily basis. But Christ in the gospel scene isn't concerned about their perfection or their holiness. He cares about their authenticity and where the Pharisees' and the scribes' heart is. As the Son of God, Christ knew exactly what they were doing. He understood that these Pharisees would travel all over the land, all over the world that they knew, trying to gain even one convert. But the purpose of their travels and their conversions wasn't to bring the person into right relationship with God, but to be able to say that they had gained one convert. They would do it only for their own glory and the honor that one would receive for it. It was all for their own prestige and vainglory, for their ego. I've had many conversations with non-Christians, and one of the biggest complaints I hear as to why they would never become Christian is because they see all of us as hypocrites. And you know what? Sometimes we are. But that's the beauty of Christianity, because we have a goal. We understand that our goal is heaven. And we also understand, conversely, that all fall short of the glory of God, and so we rely entirely on Jesus Christ. And so while as Christians we may be hypocrites, I mean that's just kind of being human. Like we preach Jesus Christ, we preach heaven, we preach holiness and sanctity, and while all the while recognizing that we're not there, and that's okay, because it's not the same hypocrisy of the Pharisees and scribes. All they cared about, again, was their own vainglory, their own pride, their own accomplishments. It was all me, and never God, never God. So while, yes, I acknowledge that sometimes we are hypocrites. Like I myself can be a hypocrite at times. That's part of being human, part of being Christian. But the hypocrisy that Christ is condemning is not that. It's not the hypocrisy of proclaiming Jesus Christ, even if we fall short. And this is a good time to remind us that the church and her sacraments aren't for the saints, aren't for the already perfect, but for the imperfect, in need of God's love and mercy. The church is a field hospital, and the sacraments established by Jesus Christ are the medicine she dispenses daily. My brothers and sisters, the seeming hypocrisy of Christianity is not even close to being the same hypocrisy that Christ condemns today. Because as Christians, we recognize that all fall short of the glory of God and need Him absolutely. The Pharisees were seeking only to justify their own pride and ego, whereas we Christians seek only our Lord and God, Jesus Christ.